Hey everybody, welcome to USARK's YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Tim. I'm with Intrepid Exotics, and we spend a good deal of time talking about how to have really good relationships with animals like this 14-foot female reticulated python right here. And that's going to move us right into the topic here in a couple minutes of having a good relationship with the community as a whole as well. But first, I wanted to give a big shout out to Garrett and the guys out at Reach Out Reptiles, for starting the whole USARK YouTube channel. It's a really big asset to the community, man. And he's done a really good job on it, and we're all really grateful for his effort. And I really appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk with you guys today, especially following, Mr. Dave Kaufman, who made the last video. And if you haven't seen that yet, definitely go check it out. He did such an awesome job of really breaking down what USARK does for us, what Phil does, what Phil Goss, the president, does for USARK. And you'll have to excuse me, part of having this girl out here is keeping her in one place. That's kind of easier said than done sometimes. Now Dave did such a fantastic job of, really laying out what USARK does. The only thing that I'll say in addition to that, or say it again rather, because I know he did, is if you've got any interest in animals at all, if you own any reptiles, any exotic pets, if you own any pets at all, definitely guys, USARK, they really do a lot, and the strength of the base, the number of the members really matters when he goes in to talk to folks. So definitely, as soon as this is over with, go down, get your membership. It's not a whole lot for bronze membership. The numbers really do matter. If you can do more, that's awesome. Now, one of the things that I really wanted to touch on today is how we can make Phil's job easier, because he can only do so much. He spends a lot of time looking over legislation, just like with the Lacey Act stuff. It was hidden in a really big document that he had to piece through and find. So they really don't have time to be putting out fires that could otherwise be avoided by us just doing the right thing as a community. So I really encourage folks, really focus on community building, on putting, our fellow keepers and breeders and educators, keeping everybody in the best possible light, and we need to keep ourselves and our animals in the best possible light as well. We need to realize that everything that we put out for public consumption is available to be consumed in a hearing as they're thinking about whether they're going to ban these animals or not. A big part of that is us showing responsibility as a community that, some of these animals, like this reticulated python, like my Nile monitor, some of these animals require a bit of a skill level, they require a bit of familiarity. And as long as the community as a whole is exhibiting that sense of responsibility, it's going to go a long ways towards avoiding a lot of the things that we may otherwise have to deal with. Now, one thing that is really, really cool about having this particular YouTube channel for USARK, where so many keepers and breeders and educators all come together in the same spot, is that this is a really good resource for Phil to use when he's down talking with legislators. He can direct those people who may not have any experience at all with reptiles to this site, and he can see a whole myriad of different examples of different animals, which is why I've got my reticulated python out here. This is the longest constrictor species on the planet, and she's laying here sleeping in my lap like a puppy dog. Many people just would not think that's possible. They wouldn't think that's a thing. But this is a really good resource for us to display that to folks that may not see that otherwise. And it's a reminder too that we do have a lot of breeders out there, a lot of folks that are passing these animals on, and the ones that I know are really responsible about making sure that folks are really well educated with the animals. And it's a continuing process for all of us. The reptile community is growing, and we've got so many new people getting into it that it's not just about how valuable our own time is. Every minute that we spend helping a new keeper understand their animals better, answering questions and things like that, it helps the entire community. And ultimately, it may prevent something bad from happening that, may get the wrong kind of attention that we don't want to have. So, you know, like I said, we talk so much about building relationships with our animals. We definitely want to build relationships with our other keepers, breeders, and educators, and all of the new folks that are coming into the hobby, man. We really need to help build them up as much as we can. You know, one philosophy that we always had is that when you see a really good team, you can't figure out who the leader is. And that's the way we need to be. All of our folks, we need to be building each other up all the time. Really important. Not just as an idea, when we talk about community building, you know, the reptile shows, it's all reptile people that go there, you know, folks that have already got an interest. Well, out here in North Carolina a couple months ago, we got together with the Carolina Herp Society, the local science center, the Parks Department, Fish and Wildlife, everybody, and it was a festival out there. And we had an open air area where there were several different stands set up that people could just walk through. So we took a bunch of our animals out there. Yeah, we talked with everybody, Fish and Wildlife, got the okay from everybody, made sure that there was no problems with being out there, and we had some big constrictors, some big monitor lizards, tegu, some local snakes and things like that. And it gave us a real good opportunity to expose folks to these animals and show them the softer side of these big animals that they otherwise wouldn't see. It was a lot of fun. It's always awesome seeing people interacting with these animals for the first time in their life. You know, maybe that's the first time they'd ever seen them in person. And, you know, that's the kind of community outreach and public education that's really cool. It's really going to help bring the reptile community more to the forefront, you know, and maybe help, you know, put to rest some of the stigma about some of these animals. And it's all going to help us move forward. So, you know, just an idea. Like I said, it was a lot of fun when we did it out here. As long as you can set it up and everybody out there is okay with it, you're responsible, you're doing everything right, keeping everybody safe, it's really an awesome time. Now, since we're talking about community building, that brings me to who I want to nominate for the next video, and that is Nicole from Lady Tiss Exotics. Nicole is really an amazing person. She's a ball python breeder. She keeps reticulated pythons, and she does a lot of community networking within the reptile community. Has got a podcast that she runs where she's always communicating with different folks, and she's just an awesome person and a lot of fun. And her and I have both been really firmly behind USARK the whole time. So I know she would really love an opportunity to get on here and remind you guys how important USARK is. So Nicole, we look forward to hearing from you. And as far as everybody else out there goes, I really appreciate you hanging out with us today. And be safe, be responsible, get subscribed to the USARK YouTube channel, get your membership, participate when the community needs you to participate, and let's keep our animals in the best possible light with everybody and do everything we can to help educate folks about these animals so they can love them as much as we do. You guys have an outstanding time, and we will see you later. Have a good day.